What's going on, guys? So in this video we're going to be discussing some more bargain conscious niche fragrances. Now these are going to be in the $100 price bracket or less, whether it's directly from the brand or from some more popular discount sites, which I'll do my best to provide some links down below on where I can find the best places to find good prices for you guys with these fragrances. But I've got 8 very specific fragrances because it's more so about highlighting the 8 fragrance houses with just featuring one of my personal favorites from each house. Some of this is a lot of variety, and the ones I'm going to show in particular are very easygoing, easy to enjoy, high quality. Most of them perform fantastic. Actually, all of them perform very well, and just some really good stuff overall. And I want to talk to you about them, so stay tuned. Starting with today's scent of the day, I'm actually doing a Montale week, a themed week in my rotation this week. And the first one I reached for actually fits this video topic perfectly. We are talking about Montale's Wood and Spices. Very, very popular fragrance for good reason. This one, long lasting, pretty loud for the most part. Creamy, spicy, very, very woody. The creaminess really comes from the sandalwood. There's a little touch of sweetness. It's not overly sweet, but it is a bit powdery on my skin. It's creamy and powdery. It does have a masculine tone to it, but it's kind of a soft aroma overall, even though it's a very strong fragrance. It's a soft, kind of almost pillowy type of scent profile. Even though there is some spice, there is some woods, it's a little powder. The powdery, creamy mixture here really adds a little touch of sensuality and kind of a bit of sex appeal here. This is extremely attractive. My wife loves the way this one smells. She was absolutely loving the way I smelled today. And you can get this one for a very good price. Pretty much every Montale fragrance, for the most part, you can find at a variety of discounters online in the sub $100 price bracket. You can find some testers in the $50 to $60, even $70 range, which is most of my Montale fragrances. This one in particular, the difference with the tester is the collar stop pin is actually through the atomizer. It's not a collar stop pin. And they come in a white tester box. I'm fine with that. There's no removing the pin. Irrelevant, doesn't matter. Same juice, almost identical bottle and presentation, but at a fraction of the cost. It is cheaper to go the route of testers. I would suggest doing so when available at these discount sites, but this is a great way to go. Another great fragrance from them is Montale's Honey Oud. That's my actual personal favorite from the brand. Fougères Marine, kind of like niche Tommy Hilfiger cologne, for example. They have a ton of great stuff, great rose coffee scents, countless ouds, just a great house overall. And like I said, you can find anywhere from $60 to $100 from discounters online. 9.5 times out of 10, they're super long lasting, and most of them are pretty beastly for the most part. Pretty hard to find an underperforming Montale fragrance, so definitely one of the better bargain niche fragrance houses out there. Again, we're talking about Montale, and specifically in this video, we're talking about Wood and Spices. Next, we're talking about a house that has its fair share of artistic, slightly more challenging fragrances, but they do have some more easygoing, mass-appealing options like this particular scent. We're talking about the house of ETAT LIBRE, and we are talking about Remarkable People. This is a lovely, aromatic, fresh fragrance. Has a champagne note that provides this nice, very fresh, almost bubbly-like type of effervescence in the top. I mean, champagne, when you think champagne, you think the bubbly, you know. And you definitely get a nice hit of that here. There's a little bit of a fresh citrus tone with this as well. Like I said, very aromatic. Very unisex as well. Nothing super masculine or very feminine about this scent profile at the same time. Others that I kind of enjoy from the house besides this one would be Soul of My Soul. Very beautiful, musky, vanilla suede type of fragrance. Gorgeous bottle and presentation as well. Also, Exit the King. If you're looking for a slightly unique floral soapy scent, there's actual, like, the lather of the soap is the accord that's in there, soap foam. And it's a beautiful, like I said, nice white floral tone soapy fragrance. Not quite as challenging, but there is some fragrances that are a bit challenging from them. So kind of tread lightly. Like I have Herman. I don't know how to say the full name. I don't remember the full name off the top of my head. That one kind of smells like the rainforest after it rains. Like being in the forest after it rains, wet dirt, earthy soil type of smell. Not the best smell on the planet. You know what I mean? There's some of them that, you know, are a little bit more challenging to wear and a bit more artistic. They nail what they're going for most of the time. But fragrances like Remarkable People, this is stuff that you can wear every single day. The quality's there. This particular one's an above average performer. I wouldn't call it a beast by any means, but it dresses up. It's casual just as well. Like I said, it's one that you can dress up, you can dress down, you can do just about anything with it. It's kind of signature scent worthy, maybe a little bit more of an acquired taste for some for it to be their signature, but definitely a great option to start with if you're looking to dive into the house. Obviously you can get discovery sets and sample a variety of fragrances from them, but this is my personal favorite. A great affordable niche house from discounters. ETAT LIBRE. Here we're talking about Remarkable People. Another one that they get pretty cheap at discounters for the most part. This one in particular, after the 37% off coupon code from FragranceNet, you can get a tester just like I have for $76. And if you're a fan of Iris, you probably don't mind fragrances that lean a little feminine. This definitely leans a little feminine, and it's one of the better irises out there. We're talking about Juliette Has a Gun, and this fragrance in particular is called Lipstick Fever. Definitely marketed for the ladies. I mean, hell, it's called Lipstick Fever. What's beautiful about this one, it's a gorgeous raspberry iris fragrance. Juicy, fruity, sweet raspberry. Definitely leans a little feminine in the top. It's more of a waxy, lipsticky, hence the name, type of iris with a beautiful violet absolute that adds that powdery floral tone, but there is a little bit of like a patchouli cedar combo in the base that does kind of, I guess you could say, masculine up the dry down just a touch to where it's not too feminine. But if you're a fan of Iris, this is at least worth a sample. This is my personal favorite from the house. I do have about a handful or roughly a handful of fragrances from the house. Majority of them are marketed to women, but some are very unisex. They have very few that are marketed to men. But this one in particular, like I said, women's fragrance that I personally love. This is one of my favorite releases. I believe it came out in 2020. This was one of my favorite releases from that year. This one's not really a powerhouse, but it is one that's slightly more artistic because I mean, they're trying to replicate that waxy tone of lipstick, and it's got that flirty type of feel from what a prominent raspberry note with some florals can bring to a fragrance. I love this stuff. When I was gathering these fragrances for this video, I had sprayed it on my wrist and was sniffing on it when I ate dinner. Just a beautiful fragrance, it really is. Other fragrances that are noteworthy for me personally, fragrances like Vanilla Vibes, a fantastic summertime vanilla, hot weather vanilla fragrance. Not too many of those out there, as well as fragrances like Musk Invisible. It's kind of like a freshly laundered blanket, very soft, powdery cotton flower note in there. They have a lot of really good stuff. Not a Perfume, a great layering fragrance because of the Cedrat note that's in it, which is basically like an ambergris type of note. There's a lot of good stuff from them in the sub $100 price point. Definitely check them out. This is another one you can get a discovery set and try some of the offerings. But again, we're talking about Juliette Has a Gun, and in particular, we're talking about Lipstick Fever. As with Montale, the counterpart to that brand from Pierre Montale is Mancera. It's hard to beat with Mancera because, again, most of the fragrances are pretty beastly in performance for the most part, if not last, kind of above average. They're pretty long-lasting fragrances on up to just ridiculous beasts like Red Tobacco, for example. That's a nuclear performing fragrance. Here we're talking about Mancera's Cedrat Boise, one of the most versatile, easygoing, all-around best niche fragrances you can get your hands on. It's fruity, it's a little leathery, it's woody. It has that head-turning appeal to it. It's super versatile as well. Yes, the Intense is out at the recording of this video, but this one has a bit more mass appeal and freshness to it, whereas the Intense is a bit more spicy, a touch more animalic. It's got some oud, the suede, leathery note comes across a bit more musky and animalic. It's a phenomenal fragrance, but here I felt like it was best to feature the original Cedrat Boise because I still believe it to be one of the best niche fragrances to kind of start diving into niche. It's such a safe pick for the most part, above average performer, not some crazy beast, but not a weak fragrance either. And like I said, some noteworthy fragrances from the house like Red Tobacco. super hyped up, super popular, crazy strong fragrance. Personal favorites of mine, Oud Lemon Mint, for example, very unique almond creamy lemon oud smell, as well as fragrances like Instant Crush, kind of a more floral take on Baccarat Rouge 540. Another one that's ridiculous performance, Oud Vanille, beautiful burning wood and vanilla type of smell. Just there's a lot of really good offerings that I haven't even completely explored. And I have in the teens, I have like 13, 14, maybe 15 Manceras. I've tried more on top of that because I have a variety of decants, and there's just countless others that I'm sure are fantastic. There's something for everybody from Mancera, from freshies like Wave Musk and Soleil d'Italie, all the way to super oud, the oud, the oud, however you want to say it, that I have. That's probably the most challenging oud rose fragrance that I own. But like I said, they have something for everybody. It's a great house to explore where you're not going to spend a ton of money. Some fragrances you can find in the $60 to $70 range. Sometimes you can find this one in the $60 to $70 range, on up to like the 80s sub $100 price point. Usually in that $75 to $100 price point, you can clean house with just about any scent profile you're looking for from Mancera, and they're all going to perform. They all have pretty good quality oils as well. A great niche house, great bargain niche house to dive into from discounters is Mancera, especially fragrances like Cedrat Boise. Lovely niche house out of New York. Very artistic with the stories they're telling without making challenging fragrances. And it's really hard to pick a favorite from the 4 bottles that I do have from the house. So I felt like I would go with the most fresh and relaxing of what I have. We're talking about KIERIN NYC in this situation. And here, we're going to talk about Sunday Brunch. This is a beautiful, authentic, juicy, mouth-watering citrus. Lovely I believe it's Earl Grey tea. Is the tea note, provides this deep, herbal, soothing tone as the citrus starts to calm down. Light, woody tone in the backdrop. Not a complex fragrance, just a gorgeous, like the name implies, daytime scent. Sunday Brunch for a nice, bright, sunny day. The quality is top tier as you would expect, and these 50 mLs go in the realm of $80 before any discounts or anything like that from any of the discount sites, even directly from the brand. You're looking at, I believe it's $80, maybe $90 for these 50 mLs. They're all clean source, top tier, animal cruelty free for the testing phases and everything that was done. Any musks they have or anything leather accord is made up of notes to create an accord. It's a beautiful, beautiful house. They have a ton of great offerings. 10 a.m. Flirt, very good fig fragrance, as well as fragrances like Nitro Noir, beautiful red berry, powdery patchouli, orris type of fragrance. Probably my absolute favorite from the house. I recently got Pier NYC, kind of an aquatic, salty marine tone to it. Very sea salt heavy accord in that one. They have some beautiful, authentic fragrances that need to be explored. Very unisex, nothing masculine, and nothing too feminine based on my experience. Definitely a house worth sampling. You can get discovery sets from them. You can buy individual travel sizes. There's many ways to try the house. I think this is a great bargain niche house to really check out. Bargain in price, but not bargain in quality. That's for sure. We're talking about KIERIN NYC, and in this video, we're talking about Sunday Brunch. I just featured this fragrance recently. I'm pretty eager to wear this one as the fall season rolls around. It's one of my favorite spicy amber fragrances. There's a prominent creamy sandalwood, like dry wood. The amber kind of dries out the woody tone here, and the cardamom provides this nice spice. We're talking about Bon Parfumeur. This is number 301. I know recently Kingdom Fragrances started carrying some of their scents, and they're in that $50 range, and that is such a bargain. They were already very affordable directly from the brand in that $100 price bracket. Some a little bit less, some a little bit more. God, that smells good. They make some really, really good stuff. I have 4 bottles from them, and several of their little, they call them shots, their little sealed off like dabber style samples. I haven't smelled anything subpar from them. 801, one of my favorite breezy, salty sea breeze type of scents. I've been wearing that one a little bit here and there throughout the summer, because at the recording of this, we're starting to get late into the summer season. And fragrances like 301, like I said, if you're a fan of amber or woody, spicy type of scents, you'll probably really enjoy this one. Well above average performance. Not a beastly fragrance, but definitely on the stronger side in performance as far as sillage, projection, and longevity. It's what most people would expect. It really punches above the price point of what you can get fragrances like this for. Like I said, I don't remember exactly, but I want to say it's in that $40 to $50 range from Kingdom Fragrances. And for this, that's ridiculous steal. It's a fantastic bargain. Bon Parfumeur doesn't get a ton of spotlight from what I've seen, and it's definitely a house worth exploring, at least getting some samples, or maybe you end up seeing a particular scent that kind of, you say, I know I'm definitely going to like that. They're not super expensive if you're the type that likes to roll the dice and do a lot of blind buying like I do. I'm not encouraging you to blind buy. I'm just saying they do have some scents that are on the safer side. Just kind of tread lightly if you're going to go that route. I would advise sampling first, but they have some really good stuff at a fantastic price point. One of the best price points of all the houses in this video. And we're talking about Bon Parfumeur. This is number 301. Now, right at the top tier of the price bracket that we're looking for, right in that $100 price point USD, this is a French niche house that I've featured several times on this channel. I have 4 full bottles from them and a few samples that I haven't even sprayed yet. All 4 bottles that I have are fantastic. Orient Express is my wife's absolute favorite. It's a lychee note with some florals. Baccarat Vanille, a beautiful sweet amber floral. I love wearing that one. And then my personal favorite, my favorite coconut fragrance, which there are few and far between coconut fragrances that I love. We're talking about the Fleurs de Golfe. This is Coco du Yemen. Right around $100 will get you this 50 ml. Performance is bananas. The authenticity of this just shaved coconut smell, beautiful amber, a little bit of a woody backdrop. It's not your typical coconut. I think that's what I like about it so much. The quality is top notch. Sourced, bottled, packaged, and shipped from France. This is a French niche house. They do not have distribution as far as I know here in the States. Every package I've gotten from them comes directly from them, and it usually takes, in the realm of a week and a half to 2 weeks to ship because it's coming international shipping. This is my favorite from them. Bar none. I still smell it floating in the air. It's probably the strongest fragrance it's the strongest fragrance in this video. For those of you that are adamant about, if I'm buying niche, I expect extreme performance, you're getting that here. Based on my experience, the 3 that I wear the most, Orient Express, because I haven't spent much time with Night Flower. That's the 4th bottle that I have. Baccarat Vanille is ridiculously powerful, as well as Coco du Yemen. And this is not so dense and too heavy of a wear that it can't be pulled off perfectly in the summertime. Because at the end of the day, it's kind of tropical because it's such a dominating coconut note. Authentic shaved coconut. Not too creamy, not too watery, not too milky. And definitely not a sunscreen vibe. It's beautiful. It's not often you'll hear me praise a coconut heavy fragrance this much, because this one is that damn good. Definitely a house worth exploring. Another one that does not get a ton of spotlight that's worth sampling. Again, that's Fleurs de Golfe is the house, and in this video we're talking about Coco du Yemen. And the last fragrance house I want to speak on is called MOLINARD. I haven't tried a bunch of stuff from them. The one full bottle that I do own, I absolutely love. I've worn it a few times here this summer. My favorite fig fragrance. Some of you know where I'm going with this. It's MOLINARD Figue. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous fragrance that I don't spray real heavy. I don't really need it to be overwhelmingly powerful, which it's not an overwhelming type of scent profile. It's not a super long-lasting fragrance. It's kind of in that average territory, 5, 6, maybe 7 hours if I'm lucky. But it's just a beautiful, aquatic, juicy, soapy type of fig that they feature in this fragrance. It's lovely. I love the way this one smells. Like I said, it's my favorite fig fragrance. I have several designer fig-based fragrances. And my previous favorite before I got this was Carner Barcelona's Fig Man. That's a lovely, soapy, authentic fig. This is much more aquatic and juicy. It's got a little bit of black currant, provides this kind of darker, tart fruitiness to it. Just so well composed. I paid $40 from Kingdom Fragrances for this. From what I've seen across the internet from multiple discounters, this range is in that $35 to $55 range. Again, just a fantastic bargain for quality oils, well blended, compositions. These are beautiful fragrances. I want to explore this house further myself. These other houses, I have at least a handful of fragrances from them. Some of them I have like 3 handfuls of fragrances from them. But this one I have the least amount from, and this is the one I plan on exploring the most of everything in this video, because for what I would consider a cheap designer fragrance price point, you can get a fantastic quality niche fragrance. So definitely check out some offerings from MOLINARD. Here we're talking about FIGUE. Well, that's the 8 that I have for you today. Very specific 8, because I mainly wanted to talk about the 8 houses more so than just the specific fragrances. And until next time, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. So I do appreciate all the feedback, and I love hearing from you guys. How many of you have tried anything from these houses, or is one of these houses a personal favorite of yours and you tend to collect a lot of things? Like collecting Montale and Mancera is a thing. You know, there's some people that majority of their collection is those fragrances, because, I mean, that's really, you can get away with just working with those 2 brands. They're both owned and perfumed by Pierre Montale. He does fantastic work with both of them. I mean, I totally get where some people are coming from with that's just what they buy. They buy Montale and Mancera because, like I said before, you can literally find something for anyone that performs great as well from those 2 houses. There's just so many good offerings out there. Yes, there's some great, more expensive niche houses. There's tons of them out there, but I wanted to focus more on what I consider more bargain level, where you still get quality, you still get performance, you still get some uniqueness and some artistry for kind of what, you know, a designer on sale is going for these days from a place like Macy's or something like that. So until next time, I will say, if you get your hands on any of these 8 or anything from one of these houses and you give them a spray now, you might end up thanking me later. Have a good one, guys.